So now in this video we're going to look at the P channel enhancement mode MOSFET wired as a switch. We're going to use the BS250. When I ordered them it said TO92 on it for the package, but the ones I got after doing some searching around I found out were E-line package, but I think it has the same pin layout as the TO92 version. The way that it looks, we got a square there that's I think about the same size as the TO92 version. There's the transistor there, but it gets a little wider on the edges and on top. Then you have a bigger flat area on the back with a dimple in the middle. But otherwise the pins are about the same space, if not the exact same space as the TO92 package. So putting on a breadboard works exactly the same. Just remember that that's the front. This is one schematic symbol. I probably got it from the data sheet, but I like this one better. There's all kinds of different schematic symbols for the same type of component. So that's an unfortunate thing, but that's what we're stuck with. So I made the pin layout there, but when I got them, I wasn't for sure that I had it right. So I grabbed my transistor tester, makes things easy. We got 1, 2, 3. That's the first 3 pins there. All you gotta do is hit test, and it does the rest. It brings it up. So I don't know that they even sell these anymore. Last I looked, I don't think I could find them to post a link for people to click. But in any case, you just hit that test. We got P for P channel, E for enhancement mode because there's also depletion mode, and we got MOSFET there. It's MOSFET. We got 1 drain, D, 2 gate, and then 3 source right there. Makes things easy. You also get a schematic symbol, but I think every once in a while that might even be wrong. But it looks right that time, as far as I can tell. So it looks like the one I drew there. So we're wiring it as a switch. It's enhancement mode. That means that it does not want to conduct naturally. It does build up a charge though at the gate sometimes, where it will kind of look like it's conducting normally. So that's why we have this resistor going to the positive supply. Since it's P channel, that holds it off. So it's P channel, and it's kind of like a capacitor. So we give a positive voltage there, and it builds up a positive voltage at the gate, but the other side becomes more negative. So that helps hold it off. We close the switch, we get 0 volts going to the gate. So that's more negative. The other side ends up getting more positive. So that P channel gets a more positive charge on it. It conducts better, and so it's going to conduct really well at that point. So it's just voltage control. Spec of current moves as it charges or discharges depending on what you're doing, like a capacitor, but other than that you just get that voltage on it and it either conducts or it doesn't, however the particular transistor operates voltage wise. So in any case, we got positive 5 volts. That's what we're going to use here. With the N channel MOSFET, the drain is on the positive supply, and so if there's no number on there, you get VDD for the drain side. When you're using the PNP, or the P channel enhancement mode MOSFET, I mean, then the drain is on the more negative side, but still you stick with using VDD to indicate the positive supply. So you'll see that from time to time, and so that's what that means. If it's VCC, that means it's a bipolar junction transistor, because the C, the collector, is towards the positive side of the supply. So they do that a lot if there's no number to give you. So we have at the drain the LED and a protective resistor. Once it gets conducting fully, that's what will set the current. A little voltage will be dropped by the LED, but after that the voltage goes across the resistor. It sets the current, and this is plenty safe for an LED. So that's really about it for this. Let's look at it on the breadboard. And here we are on the board right there. You can see we got 5 volts, no current flowing right now because it's off. And now there's about 12 milliamps of current approximately flowing. I limited current to 20 milliamps on there. So one thing is, let's say we put this in backwards. It was pretty clear the gate was in the middle, but we may not have known that. You can probably figure that out through the process of elimination, but we turned it around. So now the source is down here instead of the drain. The drain is up there. You can see it's not working right. The LED is staying on. And so that's one nice thing about this. You put it in backwards, it's actually pretty clear. You got it in backwards. So now we have it forwards, and so that's one way we're going to use it as a diode, probably in the next video. Let's zoom in a little more so we can see it a little better. So the drain is down here to the long lead of the LED, anode, short lead cathode to the resistor, 220 ohm going to the negative rail, pretty straightforward. That jumper goes to the middle pin, the gate, and then we got the source up there. That's going to that little jumper to the positive supply. And the pull-up resistor there going to the positive supply, that's to the bottom of the switch. Other side of the switch is ground, 0 volts, which we have to connect it to in order to get the LED to light up. So that's really about it. I explained everything already other than that, so let's end it there. Make sure you check out one of the other videos that I'm posting up to the screen. Click like, subscribe, the bell, all that. Donate to Patreon if you can, that helps out the most. I got links down in the description, but just watching as many videos as you can helps out a ton. Thanks to everybody that does that. I will see you in the next video.